really good. That probably stands out head and shoulders. And one that I like is called the old Quadrocent that Lisa's made. Another one that's out now, the original big thing that they made. That was fantastic. It got a really bad press actually, but I love that. That's still my main studio keyboard actually. That and the Motive. Yeah.
Do you find they're easier to use live now, more reliable?
More reliable, yeah, definitely. And much more capable. A lot of them got built-in sequencers and samplers, so you can do much more with the synth before you have to start reverting to sequencers and samplers. You know, standalone sequencers live. Although we do that as well, but we couldn't really do that to the same degree. We'd have to rely much more on more fragile technology if the synthesizers couldn't do what they can do. And that's probably why sometimes you see a couple of people standing there making a great deal of noise, because half of it's coming, you know, the synth's really doing it. You go da-da-da-da, press button, and all this other stuff happens as well. Well, they can do it, so we make use of it. If I didn't have that kind of technology, I'd need a band of about a dozen people, and that would be ridiculous.
What do you think on the, you know, not the live music debate, but where people are actually, you know, the mixture of whether it's live or whether it's sequenced or coming off tape? I know you've had sort of views in the past. What do you feel now? Or
I think it's unrealistic of people to well, I say require it. People go out and they talk about the quality of recording. A lot of this stuff is done 48 track. With Pro Tools and other systems like that, you can get up to 128 tracks of recorded stuff per song. Well, how can you go out and do that live with 4 people? Yeah, it's mental. If you want that quality of album, you have to accept some compromise when it comes to how much of that you can actually play live. So you play all the main bits, the guitars, the drums, and you sing it and you do the rest of it. And then a lot of the stuff got the little noises that go once in a while. Or, you stick them on a DAT, or you stick them in a sequence, or you fake it, you know, some other way. And that way you get the sound of the album, which is largely being played, all the important parts are being played, all the little trickery bits, the little production noises are being done with the machines. And providing you're sitting there and pressing go on the machine, you're still actually the person, it's a human being that's making it happen. So I've got no problem with it. I'd much rather go to a gig and hear it full on than hear 4 people trying to recreate a 120 track record. You know, it's rubbish.
Would you ever do an acoustic album or anything like it? Or acoustic live, maybe?
I could do, but I don't want to, really.
It's not something that would appeal to you particularly?
Well, I don't know. You know, it's a credit to your melodies if you can do that sort of thing and the songs still stand up. So it would be an ego-boosting thing to do as much as anything, to see if my melodies would stand up to just being naked, you know, just an acoustic guitar. So that side of it appeals slightly. But realistically, you know, put my ego to one side. Then the songs were written the way they were written, and that's how I wanted them to be, and that's how I like to play them. I like the power of it and the aggression of it. I'm not that fussed about being unplugged, really.
Andy Keithley, who's your lighting engineer, is brilliant, and I think he's fantastic. And And I'm sure you'll agree with us that he's probably one of the best rock lighting engineers there is. And I mean, would you say that the criticism you've had in the past where you hide behind lights, which I think has gone away now, but you don't hide behind lights, in fact you put a show on, and even now, which is, you know, 25, 26 years into your career, that show out there is awesome, it looks fantastic, and they'll see it on the DVDs. What have you got to say to the people about that? You know, what would you like to say, anything you'd like to say about the fact that, you know, this is a good light show, you're not hiding behind the lights, you're giving the fans something.
I was thought that hiding behind the lights thing was one of most. I think Midge said that, you know. Midge, yeah. And how on earth can you have a 40-foot high wall of light behind you, right? I'm the most lit man in rock, and yet I'm hiding behind the lights. Now there wasn't anyone more lit than me. Always, really. Yeah. And I thought, wow, you pathetic little man. But yeah, I think sometimes people say things because I don't know, they need to say something, I suppose. But that sort of stuck for some reason, that one, and it particularly bothered me as well for some reason. That one did. I think light shows are an absolutely vital part of going to see a gig. You know, I understand if people don't agree with that and people just think it should all be about the music, but I think that's rubbish. It's a show, it's everything. The performance. You know, an album is all about the music. Going to a gig is all about the whole visual aspect of it as much as the sound of it, and you need to put as much, if not more, time and energy into the way it looks as it does the way it sounds, and that's what I've always tried to do. Now sometimes I've had more money than others, and so when I've had more money I do bigger gigs, you know, and when I don't have so much money then I tone down a little bit, but I've always tried to do the best light show that I can, always. And now things are getting a bit better, so they're getting bigger and better again.
How's little Raven? How's she doing?
It's alright, she's around today somewhere.
She's a rock and roll baby.
Yeah, still got a little lump. No, she just doesn't get fazed by it at all. You know, she's on the bus, doesn't care. Nothing frightens her. Nothing makes her cry. And she's well looked after. You know, she's not with a heroin addicted bunch of crackheads. So she'll be looked after properly, and I just think it's great, and I look forward to it. Look forward to every part of it.
Well, I'm glad to see you enjoying the weekend. So, could you do a little message to the fans you could give them, you know, for this weekend, something to look forward to? Or?
For the weekend,
yeah.
What can I say? We're doing one song that we've never done before, but I think we're only doing it in Birmingham. I've got some different ones to do in London. We're doing about 5 different songs. So, and I absolutely cannot get the words in my head at all. So I'm going to have to make that up to go along. So we're trying to do things to make it a little bit different to what we did before. You know, I think we're only doing 8 or 9 songs, maybe even less. That's on the DVD, the main DVD that we're talking about. So
Hope Bleeds.
Hope Bleeds. Yeah. So they don't get like a carbon copy of that. I'm trying to do different songs tomorrow from tonight, half because I have to and half because it seems the right thing to do because we're filming. So all in all, that there's been much more work gone into these 2 gigs than anything I've done for quite a long time. And I'm not entirely sure it's going to show. Really, we are loose beyond belief. You seen Rob? He's standing with a big circle of notes around him. Oh, bless him. And I'm just as bad with my lyrics. Anyway, so